is up, guys? Welcome back. We got another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show for you. It is Friday afternoon. We're going to be going over all of the relevant player news and practice news, participation, inactives, things that you guys need to know before we get into week number 4. What we're going to be doing is kind of just hopping through each team and just reviewing the practice reports real quick. Good evening to Aiden. Hope you're doing well. We got a lot of bad news today. A lot of bad injury news today. Starting with the Arizona Cardinals, though, for fantasy, Trey McBride not playing in this one. We kind of assumed that he was not going to play. Marvin Harrison got a full practice in today, so not concerned about his injury tag from the week. But no Trey McBride. This is a awesome matchup for the Cardinals passing attack. You're starting Marvin. I think Michael Wilson's in play. I think Greg Dortch is in play. And the tight end there, if you guys need to play a tight end, Elijah Higgins is going to be the backup guy. And I'm starting him in one of my leagues because I have Evan Ingram out. So Trey McBride out for the Cardinals. The Falcons, I believe they're in good shape. Bijan Robinson got a full practice in today. Overall, not too concerned with this Falcons injury report. Everything looks pretty good there. We'll talk about their counterpart, New Orleans Saints, in a little bit here. Baltimore Ravens are going to play Sunday Night Football. This looks pretty good. Center's fully practicing. We got a guard and a cornerback ruled out basically here, but I think on the Ravens side, good to go. Buffalo, who's going to be playing the Ravens that night. They did rule out a backup offensive tackle and a cornerback here. For offense, though, everything looks pretty good. Everybody's practicing. So nothing to note on the Buffalo Bills side. Dude, I'm excited about Elijah Higgins, but I think Ertz is probably the safer play. If I just peek at, I updated my rankings today. I think I have Elijah Higgins somewhere like in the teens. Let's look at my weekly rankings real quick. I got Elijah Higgins just outside the top 15, it looks like here. So I've got him at tight end 16. I have Zach Ertz as tight end 8. So it's a revenge game for Zach Ertz. Not really a revenge thing, but he is – I'm starting Ertz. I feel more comfortable about his 4 to 5 targets in this one. I like Higgins a lot, but he's more of a deeper starting fantasy tight end for you. Lost Adams to a nasty hammy. Pick up one Kirk, Mooney, or – I'm not super excited about Trey Tucker. I think he's a fun prospect, but I'm not playing Tucker over Kirk or Mooney. I probably would play Christian Kirk this weekend, but I think Mooney's the safest play. So I'm going to say Darnell Mooney would be I'd rank them Mooney, Kirk, Tucker. I don't really want to mess with the Raiders passing game unless your name's Brock Bowers. On the Carolina Panthers practice report, everything looks pretty good here. They did rule a couple people out, but for fantasy, Chuba's practicing in full. Dalton's in full. Deontay Johnson just didn't practice yesterday because of the field conditions. He got a limited in today. He's going to be fine. He says he's going to go. Chicago Bears, it looks like we're going to see Keenan Allen back on the field. He got a full practice in today. So I think Keenan Allen is definitely playing for the Chicago Bears. Romo Dunze, also a full practice. Good to see him continuing to practice and play well after that game he had last week. Bears got a lot of guys on the injury report, but overall for fantasy, I think they're in good shape. The Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think we have anything to note here. A lot of guys on defense. Trent Brown ruled out, though. We're not sure we're going to see him anytime soon. But Burrow, Chase, and all the other usual suspects are in good shape here. Cleveland Browns, we did see Jerome Ford miss practice on Wednesday, but he was elevated to full practice today. So full go on Jerome Ford. Njoku out, Pierre Strong out. You're going to see Jerome Ford RB1, Deonta Foreman RB2, and then the passing attack looks fine here. Jerry Jeudy full practice. You're playing Amari Cooper probably. It looks pretty good for the Browns. We got Dallas already played. Let's look at Denver real quick. Denver's really easy. Nothing really to care about here. Josh Reynolds practicing in full. Harvey, Ramondre, or Olave. If Olave is going to play, I'm going to play Olave over Ramondre. We'll talk about Olave when we get there. I don't know what to think about Olave quite yet here, but I think it's pretty simple. If they're going to play Olave, I'm going to use Olave over Ramondre. Detroit Lions, who play Monday night. This is our we're still early in the process here, but Sam Laporta practicing in full, which makes me think he's going to play on Monday night. So we're not going to be interested in Brock Wright. I think if Laporta gets, and we'll get a report tomorrow on Laporta. If he's practicing in full again, I fully expect him to play. So the Lions getting some good news there from Sam Laporta. Packers side of things here, not sure what's up with Alexander. Did not practice today, so that might be good news for Justin Jefferson. Otherwise, everybody else practiced in full except Jordan Love, which we're going to get as a game time decision. So I'm operating as if Love will play. Houston Texans got an interesting report here. Tank Dell already ruled out. Dameon Pierce already ruled out. And the safety Jimmy Ward is ruled out. It was nice to see Nico Collins get a full practice in today after being limited yesterday. Dalton Schultz, full practice as well. And then I'm not sure what's going on with Joe Mixon. He was DNP the last 2 days, limited today. I would assume that he's not going to play this weekend. Maybe he's the backup running back this weekend. Usually you want to see 2 weeks of practice from a guy before they play him. So I think they're ramping him up for week 5. I would assume Mixon does not play. If he plays, I'm open to him. It's a good matchup. But it looks like it's going to be Cam Akers, running back 1 this week. Ugly one for the Colts here. They are probably not going to have their starting center. Down a couple guys on defense. For fantasy, it's fine, but like we're really nervous about Richardson and the passing weapons and Jonathan Taylor. But for fantasy, all these guys look fine to be playing. Jacksonville Jags don't have their report up yet for Friday, but they've already ruled out Evan Ingram. I'm assuming everybody else is going to be fine. I did see Gabe Davis is going to be questionable for this one, so keep an eye out for there. If Gabe Davis doesn't play, that's going to push me more towards Christian Kirk and Brian Thomas Jr., and I think the Jags offense looks better than we last saw them. The Chiefs are all good to go. Nothing really to note for the Chiefs. The Chargers have a lot of issues. Joe Alt, he's not playing. Joey Bosa's not playing. Junior Colson's not playing. We'll see about the backup Darius Davis. Rashawn Slater not playing. So both starting tackles not playing in this one. Looks like cornerbacks are questionable. It's going to be an ugly game for the Chargers here. We do have Hayden Hurst being upgraded to full today. Josh Palmer in full. Justin Herbert limited. I don't think we're going to see Justin Herbert play. I'm avoiding all the Chargers if I can. Maybe play J.K. Dobbins. The LA Rams, no Cooper Kupp. He's been ruled out, so move him to your IR and go grab a player. Otherwise, everything looks fine for the Rams. Not super excited about the Rams offense. And hey, good evening to Brandon. Hope you're doing well. We're just bouncing through each team's practice reports real quick. The Raiders have the longest list so far here, and the big one was Devontae Adams out. After being limited yesterday, DNP today, ruled out today. Not sure what's going on. We need more information. I don't know the severity of it. If he can practice next week, we'll figure that out along the way. But with Devontae out, like you're playing Brock Bowers if you have him. I think I moved Jacoby Myers into like wide receiver 30 range. So I'm open to Myers as a wide receiver 3 flex. And then, we could pick up Trey Tucker. I don't know if I want to start him, but he had an awesome game last weekend. It's a tough defense, though. I think I'm going to lean towards not using Trey Tucker. I think I'm just fine with Bowers. I'm fine with Jacoby Myers. And just because Mixon practiced today, I still don't think he's going to play. Traditionally, what you see is when a player is returning from injury, they're going to want them to get a limited practice in. And so like this week, you want to get a limited practice or 2 in this week. They usually don't play that first weekend. And then next week, if they can get 3 straight limiteds or, a limited and a couple fulls in there, that's usually what you'll see. But it's trending towards being a game time decision right now. We'll have to watch and check back in. They do play the early game on Sunday, so we should know 90 minutes before kickoff. But right now, my rankings reflect that Akers is going to be the starter. Mixon's probably going to be a late game scratch. But that could change. If Mixon looks good tomorrow and he's feeling good Sunday morning, I'm open to Mixon playing. But I think right now it's going to be Akers. Miami Dolphins. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. Skylar Thompson's getting some limited practices in here. They play Monday night. We'll get more news on that tomorrow. We have the Minnesota Vikings, which are trending towards the right direction. Jordan Addison, full practice today. If you want to whip him out as your wide receiver 3, I think I'm okay with that. And that was really the only big name we needed to know. There was some rumblings that TJ Hawkinson's going to start practicing next week, and I don't know if he's going to play again. So when I see a player returning from practice, I don't expect TJ Hawkinson to play week 5. I expect him to maybe practice next week, practice another week 6, and then potentially play week 6. That's kind of what I'm setting up for Hawkinson. We have what team is this? The New England Patriots. We don't really care, but they've ruled out Alex Austin, Michael Jordan, Vidarian Lowe. So some offensive linemen out. Not excited about the New England Patriots. We had a question about Ramondre Stevenson earlier. He's like a low-end RB2 flex for me. Not super excited. Thoughts on Mahomes? This week I have Mahomes as like my QB 8 or 9. I think if you have him, you're probably playing him. It's a good matchup. The Chargers defense is fine. They're missing some players on both sides of the ball here. I do expect the Chiefs offense to look better than it has the last couple games, whether that's getting Kelsey involved or Worthy more involved. I'm excited if I have Mahomes. I think he's a top 10 QB, but this game's probably going to get out of hand at some point here, which means we're probably going to see a lot of Carson Steele, Samaje Perine, Kareem Hunt towards the end of the game here. So hopefully Mahomes gets his touchdowns early. I think you're starting Mahomes if you have him. We already covered New England. The Saints. So we got to talk about Olave here. He popped up on the injury report today with a hamstring. Not really quite sure how to read this. There's not a lot of information out on it. He's probably going to be getting tests and looking at it tomorrow. So it'd be nice if we get news on this. I think they do play in the early slate. Let me double check this. So they do play in the early slate. So 90 minutes before kickoff in the morning, we should know what's going on. I'm going to be doing a live stream Sunday morning too. So if you guys want to check back in, I'm scheduled for 10:30 a.m. Central Time. We'll cover all the actives and any questions you guys have. We have McBride out. I'm gonna go Isaiah Likely. I think Likely's got the ceiling that I'm looking for here. If you want to just play it safe and get your 6 to 8 fantasy points, you could go with Freiermuth, but I'm gonna lean with Isaiah Likely in a really good game. Buffalo, Baltimore. I'm excited about that. A high-scoring game. I'm going to lean into the Baltimore Ravens passing offense and start Isaiah Likely there. So yeah, Chris Olave. It's going to be a game-time decision. We'll know before kickoff on Sunday morning. Kamara's going to be fine. He was limited. He might not get a full workload this week. I'm kind of having Taysom Hill vibes here. He was full practice this week after getting hurt and not playing last weekend. We might see Taysom Hill as a ball carrier a little bit more. The weapons with the tight ends. Maybe play Rashid Shaheed in this one. I'm curious what the Saints offense will look like. And if Olave plays, I'm a little hesitant to play him. But I'm assuming if he plays, they're not really messing around. I don't think they're going to risk injury with him. But I think right now I'm trending towards Olave not playing. With it being so fresh, 2 days away, I think it's probably not going to happen. The Jets are fine for fantasy. Nothing to see here. The Eagles, we've been expecting Devonta Smith to not play. He's been already ruled out. But we saw A.J. Brown stretch today, which is nice. They are on bye next week. So I'm leaning towards A.J. Brown not playing in this one. If he does play, you can start him. But again, just be aware that he could potentially re-injure it. Not quite sure if I trust it. But if A.J. Brown plays, I'm probably starting him. I'm expecting him not to play, though. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they've ruled out Alex Highsmith, Michael Pruitt, and Jalen Warren. An offensive guard here is doubtful. Najee Harris didn't practice on Wednesday. It says non-injury, but he practiced in full today and yesterday. If you have Najee Harris, I'm starting Najee Harris as a top 15 or so running back this week. I feel very comfortable with Najee. And then the other guy here is Cordero Patterson, who's going to get some work and kind of soak up, maybe 5 to 7 carries, 3 to 4 targets potentially in this offense. I like the Steelers' running game a lot against the Colts, and I think Najee is a must-start player this weekend. Russell Wilson's still limited, but we're not really worried there. Overall, the Steelers are fine, just no Jalen Warren. Seattle, they're going to play Monday night here, so we have one more day of practice reports from them. Overall, the defense is banged up. A lot of guys questionable here. And then with Kenneth Walker today, back-to-back limiteds, which is a sign in the right direction. Still not sure if he's going to play. I think hopefully they give us that news tomorrow if he's out or if he's going to be trending towards playing. I hate it because it's Monday Night Football. You need to make sure you have a another option just in case he's scratched here. So I'm probably just not going to use Kenneth Walker this weekend. Even if he plays, Zach Charbonnet's been playing well. I don't think Walker just comes back in and just gets the 100% of the workload or anything like that. So I'm probably avoiding Kenneth Walker this weekend if I have him. It's also a tough matchup against the Lions. So plan for Kenneth Walker to be on your benches this weekend. But otherwise, Seattle looks fine. Just a lot of names questionable on defense. San Francisco, hey, we got good news on Christian McCaffrey, guys. I don't know if you saw this. Let me go find it real quick. This is from Joe Lombardi. The 49ers are aiming to begin ramping up CMC's Achilles rehab on Monday. So I'm very encouraged by this, that the fact that we're getting notes that he's going to be getting mixed back into practice sounds really, really good. They do have a bye week 9. They have Seattle next, Arizona, Seattle coming up, which is interesting games. I think CMC's been put on IR week 2, so that puts him out 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe back week 6 at the best, but I'm not assuming that he's going to be back week 6. I think for me, the best case would be he's back week 10 after the bye week for Tampa Bay. Maybe that's how it goes. Maybe they eye up these Kansas City, Dallas games. Those are 2 tough games, something like that. But I think we're nearing Christian McCaffrey's return end of October, early November, which is fantastic news. Otherwise, I don't see any reports in here. I did see Deebo Samuel was limited today again, so he's got a chance to play. I think it makes sense for him to maybe sit one more game. And we're playing the Patriots. I don't know if we need to force Deebo back in there, but I'm encouraged. He's going to be questionable game time decision. Brock Purdy was full today, and they've already said George Kittle's playing. So the 49ers getting really good news all around today with Deebo back, practicing. You got George Kittle expected to play. Brock Purdy's fine. We do have to wait and see on Trent Williams, though. Tampa Bay side of things, Mike Evans did not practice. I'm not sure what's going on with that. We'll have to keep an eye on that before Sunday. I didn't really see a lot of notes, so maybe that's just a Veterans Day rest. I'm not quite sure. The Bucs did rule out Kalijah Cansey and Antoine Winfield. Otherwise, Jalen McMillan hurt his hamstring today. I don't think he's going to play. So Chris Godwin is a top 5, top 10 receiver play this week. You also have Bucky Irving, who did not practice yesterday, limited today. He's going to be a game time decision on Sunday. I don't think I'm starting him. I'm a little uncomfortable just with the hamstring tweak, and nothing's really guaranteed with his touches and his carries. So yeah, it's hamstring season, man. It's not fun right now. You have hamstrings for Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan. I'm going to lean towards not relying on Bucky Irving, and Rachaad White's fine as your running back 2 this weekend. I think you can play him and hope for the volume there. But it's definitely Chris Godwin's season for Tampa Bay right now. Tennessee looks good. DeAndre Hopkins full practice. I think if you have DeAndre Hopkins, you can start to throw him out there as your wide receiver 3 flex. The Washington Commanders, big game in Arizona. A couple guys already ruled out here. We expected Eckler to be ruled out. They're going to be using Jeremy McNichols as the RB2, but I'm expecting a huge game from Brian Robinson Jr. He should be getting upwards of 15 to 20 touches in this one. And then the passing game, Zach Ertz just missed on Wednesday with a non-injury thing here. Looks pretty good for the Commanders outside of Farrell and Austin Eckler. But overall, happy to see Commanders looking good. And that's going to be a fun game. Washington, Arizona, very excited about that. I was just going to check and see if there's any more news that kind of popped through in these final few minutes here. Let me hit refresh. Otherwise, I will be I'm going to be putting up some prop bets tomorrow. We might post a video tomorrow morning. Otherwise, Sunday morning live, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. If you guys want to hang out and figure out who's in, who's out, and we'll answer questions for you guys. But I think we covered most of it here. Good to see Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft removed from the injury report. Jordan Love's a true questionable, but I think he's playing. We need him here. And then the good Christian McCaffrey news was pretty nice today. There were some quotes from John Lynch as well, too, that they're going to start ramping him back up. So McCaffrey, trade for – I mean, you probably missed the opportunity because now that we have this note here, teams are probably going to want to hold on to Christian McCaffrey. But it's not a bad idea to ask your McCaffrey owner and see what he's thinking. But if no one's got any more questions, I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy your Friday nights. Enjoy your Saturday of college football, and Sunday morning again, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, we're going to be hanging out. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me in this video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe if you guys are new, and then I do have a promo code in the description down below if you guys want to sign up and get a full season of the Fantasy Fellowship membership for $10 off. So check that out. Thank you guys for your time. We'll see you on Sunday morning. Peace.